Girl dreams of going to Hawaii, and my husband took me for 7 days. Let's go. We officially made it to Hawaii, and we're so excited. We got a Jeep, a white one with a soft top, and it's basically my same car, but we're pulling out of the airport, and I have to show you the view. This is so beautiful. So pretty. So sick. You're kidding. Just people playing beach volleyball. When I tell you that Michael booked the most perfect hotel, I left him in charge of all of it, and he slayed. The first night when we got in, one of our best friends came, brought us pizza, and we watched the sunset. When I tell you, after 24 hours of traveling, this was the perfect way to end the evening. It was amazing. Day 2, we did a lot of fun things. We went to Kona Brewing. We saw the Halona blowhole. We got some really yummy Hawaiian donut things, which were out of this world. Okay, so one of the places we were recommended that we absolutely had to go was Leonard's for hot masadas, and we're here, and I'm so excited. It's like a little food truck, and supposedly they have like the best masadas, and my mom said I need to get passion fruit one, so that's what I'm gonna do. I didn't know what a malasada was till this moment. When I tell you, I've been thinking about them every day since. You're filled. What inside of that thing? That's insane.
Parties.
It's really good. I actually gobbled down every single bite and didn't even feel bad about it because it was incredible. Then we took off and we were going to the Halona blowhole, which I mentioned earlier, and we saw the cutest sea turtle. Okay, we actually ended up going to this beach like a few days later because it was such a like dainty and quiet beach. It's called Eternity Beach, but it's the most beautiful beach, and it's so private and secluded. It was amazing. Most underrated things that is not talked about is literally just driving, because everywhere is so beautiful to look. We were on the way back to our hotel, and then Michael took a wrong turn, and it led us to that view. You take any wrong turns you want to take, baby. This is the view from the wrong turn Michael took. When I tell you that I was amazed, stunned, shocked. It was beautiful. We then went to the Byodo temple, and when you drive through to get to the temple, you literally walk into like what looks like Jurassic Park views. It was insane. I had never seen anything this pretty in my entire life. I was just so like absorbed in this moment because I could not believe that mountains existed like this. This is quite frankly the prettiest place I'd ever been to in my life. We also didn't have a plan to actually go into the Byodo temple. We were just kind of look from the outside, but then the guy was like, no, just come in and come do it. So we ended up walking in, and it was such a fun experience. They had a ton of koi fish, and we ended up going into the actual temple. You have to like take your shoes off, and you ring like the sacred bell before you go in, and it's honestly such a cool thing. Obviously I'm a Christian, but definitely was a unique experience. Each rang the bell before walking into the temple, and after we went to the Byodo temple, we did the Makapu'u hike, which we'll see in a minute, but we went to these tide pools after Makapu'u. Originally, we wanted to go to the tide pools that are off the Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail, but they looked pretty steep to get down, and honestly, I was exhausted after just traveling, so we ended up going to these, which were a little bit further, about a couple miles off. But this is the views from the Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail hike, and it was pretty insane. Truthfully, I didn't even know something like this existed because it just feels so surreal. You almost feel like you're like in an alternate world because the ocean is so blue and the mountains look fake. Like they look so perfect that it almost feels fake. This hike is definitely one I would recommend, especially if you like something paved. The whole way up is paved, and it's only like a mile and a half there and back. You also aren't able to access the lighthouse anymore, but you can see it from like a lookout, and I just thought it was really cute and adorable. There's just something about a lighthouse that screams like, I want this and I want to take a picture by it. It just feels very movie-esque, and I had a great time just taking in all the views. Also, you feel so small everywhere you go on this island because everywhere you look, there's this huge, massive ocean that stretches for miles, and you're just like, wow, I'm a tiny little ant. This was the hike up, and it it wasn't steep, honestly. I was a little bit worried, especially after coming off 24 hours of no sleep, but the entire thing was paved. Michael came prepared like the little Marine he is, and we had such a good time. We set up the tripod and went out to this first outlook, and these people were like, can we take your picture? We were like, honestly, no, we are just like gonna selfie stick this, and we just had a little kiss moment. It was cute. So if you're not a big hiker but still want to see good views, definitely recommend this hike for you because it was definitely easy and the views were absolutely worth it. I think also just the shared experience. Michael is so good at hiking, and I obviously am not in my natural element, just out in the wilderness like this, but it's fun to get in his world and for him to just take charge and lead. And I literally follow him around like a little puppy dog, and he knows exactly where he's going all the time, and I honestly have no clue but trust him with my life. Also, just look at this view. Are you kidding? This is crazy. Absolutely beautiful. You have to do this hike if you're in Hawaii. Okay, look at this. Here you can see Michael in his little backpack. He was so prepared. He had water and snacks. I just love him with all my heart. Okay, so this is Cocoa Head. It's like a bunch of stairs. It's like 1.5 miles up in stairs.
That's probably not that far, but it's just like straight up.
It's literally straight up. Like, that couldn't be me. I'm not gonna lie to you. We had a friend ask, are you guys gonna do Cocoa Head? And Michael was like, no. And he's like, oh, why not? And Michael was like, because I'm not going to carry Ashley up that. Okay, period. That's, you already know. You already know you have to carry me up. Like, I'm athletic, don't get me wrong. I'm not that athletic. On our drive to the lighthouse, we drove through the neighborhood we like to call Beverly Hills, which is the rich homes in Hawaii. We are in like the nicest neighborhood right now, and all of the houses are just like absolute mansions, like literally insane. Today we are going to Waimea Beach and Waimea Falls. And then we're going to Sharks Cove to do a little bit of snorkeling. And then we're going to Bonsai Pipeline, which is where everyone surfs here. So like the most famous surfers all surf there. And of course, Michael and I love surfing. So we want to see it firsthand, see what it's all about. And then what are we doing after? Kulo Ranch. And Kulo Ranch is where Jurassic Park was filmed, so we're very excited to see that. And we've been listening to some Hawaiian music. So we've been jamming out and just enjoying all the sights. We're going to the North Shore today on Oahu, so it's about, I don't know, a little under an hour drive, so just enjoying the drive. But come with us to do all of that. We didn't end up getting a spot at the beach on North Shore, which is pretty crazy because it was only like 9 in the morning, but Saturday is busy, so we ended up going to Waimea Falls instead of Waimea Beach, and it was definitely pretty, but for $20 a person to get in, I don't know if I would go again, but definitely pretty. And then we found some really good snorkeling. Sharks Cove is somewhere where my mom recommended, and it did not disappoint. It was so cool. We even saw some sea turtles, and the water was definitely chilly, but had a great time. After that, we did some shopping in the North Shore Marketplace, and highly recommend. We got the best t-shirts I had seen, and they were definitely just pretty. And we finished this day off with some horses, okay? They were absolutely beautiful. So this was Kulo Ranch, and we didn't end up getting to book a tour here while we were visiting, but you can just go and like pet the horses, and we did that. And honestly, this is one of my favorite experiences that we did basically the entire time, so I highly recommend. Also, you can't even tell me those horses weren't beautiful. Okay, they were stunning, and the backdrop is just giving straight up Jurassic Park. One of my absolute favorite things, I think, over the entirety of the trip was this right here. You're looking at it. It's a secret beach. So Kulo Ranch has an excursion here, but you can also walk here. And Michael and I ended up walking half a mile here. We were like, hope it's worth it. When I tell you it was worth it, nobody was here. We were completely alone, and we had the absolute best time ever. It was so beautiful. We just got to hang out. We got to spin around and just go on a fun little private beach date. I don't know how many people can say they've been on a private beach in Hawaii, but I can. And it's free. Every beach here is free. Our third day was beautiful. We got to go to the Humanaloa, I know I'm not even saying that right, botanical gardens, and they were stunning. This is like one of the most famous places on Oahu, and you can obviously see why. Just driving in, you get this sense of being engulfed in Jurassic World, but also just being engulfed in the mountains, and it makes you feel like you are just like a part of the island in a way I can't even describe. This definitely has to be one of my favorite memories, and the photos just remind me of that moment, feeling like, whoa, I want to live in this place, and this is one of the coolest places I've experienced ever. It was stunning. So we are at the Oahu Botanical Gardens in Oahu, and come with us to tour the grounds. It's already stunning. This is the view right after you park, and it was absolutely gorgeous, okay? There also, at the gardens, were more koi fish, and Michael's obsessed with these things, okay? You like stick your hand, they'll like come suck your finger. It's the craziest experience. Also, they're apparently like $3,000 a fish, so I don't know where all these Japanese fish are coming from that are super expensive, but they have so many of them. And here's a little cute snapshot from our date. Okay, we had a good time. It was really cute. It was fun. I feel like everything about Hawaii has been so picturesque. Honestly, it was kind of interesting because if it does rain, as you can kind of see, it rained this day while we were there. It like sprinkles and then it immediately becomes sunny 10 minutes later. Like, it does not stay rainy at all, which is something I can appreciate because the rain honestly depresses me so much. So being in a place where it's just constantly sunny, honestly a win. Also, look how cute Michael is here. Okay, I just love him, and I was like, we're gonna remember this moment forever, and I'm never letting this go. I want this to replay in my memory for as long as I live, because this, you can't tell me this isn't cute. After we went to the botanical gardens, we hiked, okay? And when I tell you we hiked, it was a hike. I was thinking to myself, oh, Lani Kai Pillbox, everyone talks about this, it's a famous hike, so if everyone does it, it must be easy. No, I was completely wrong, it's not easy. When I tell you this was a straight scaling incline of this entire mountain, okay, going up was one thing. Going up was hard enough. You can see the sweat dripping off my back here, okay? I was simply not prepared, but therefore, I made it up the mountain. I wanted to see the views, and the views were absolutely worth it. This gives a complete up high view on like the highest point of the North Shore at Lani Kai, and it was stunning. It was beautiful. Definitely a workout. I earned my beach day after this, but I had a great time thinking, oh, I can climb this mountain. I can scale this mountain. You know what I didn't think about? The way down. I absolutely certainly did not think about how am I going to get down from this mountain, and that was a mistake, okay? Michael has this handprint that's literally forever imprinted on his shirt because while I was going down this mountain, I literally slid, fell directly into him, and marked up his shirt. I had dirt going down my knees, my ankles. It was like sweaty dirt. It was nasty, but I digress. This is what the top of the mountain looked like, and it might have been worth it. Okay. View is literally just so stunning here. Like, honestly, it's kind of hard to believe that we're here because it is literally just so pretty, and I'm obsessed. After we went to the beach on our 5th day, I told Michael one of my dreams was to drink out of a coconut, and when I tell you the man made it happen quickly. We found this little stand on the side of the road. It was 20 minutes up the road from the beach that we went to, and it was so fun. They cut the coconut right in front of you, and we also got sugarcane juice, which I was expecting to taste more like sugar, but it absolutely doesn't taste like sugar. It tastes like kind of like dirt or grass, but in the best way possible. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's not at all what I thought. And then coconut water,
also not what I thought. I've only had the stuff from the store and it did not taste like the stuff from the store. This one was so juicy. She was cutting it open and it was spilling everywhere, but they give you a little straw, they open the top of the coconut, and it was so yummy, so hydrating. And I don't think I can now drink coconut water from the store and like be satisfied, because I'll always just think of this coconut and what this coconut water tastes like. And I also it was so fresh and natural. It was kind of crazy. I don't really know what I was expecting it to taste like, but it was a little bit more like bitter. It's almost the texture of aloe water. It's kind of slimy, but in the best way. I know that doesn't sound very appealing, but it definitely was. And the spot and location was just so cute. We made a little date of it and I had the best time ever. After we got the coconuts, we were like, let's go on a little walk before we meet our friends for dinner. Okay, this little walk turned into Michael basically falling down a hill and us turning around on the hike because we absolutely couldn't finish it. It was so muddy, and I guess on this hike, if it rains at all, then it's basically a mudslide, and it was absolutely a mudslide. Michael tried to be Tarzan here a little bit. I don't know what was going on, but it wasn't happening. I can't believe that Michael slid down the hill. You know, he's like big. If he's sliding, I'm gonna eat it.
So, we were getting eaten alive, and we have dinner plans in an hour, and we were like, we thought this was gonna be 3/4 of a mile. And then like we weren't able to park at the golf course like it said. So it ended up being like half a mile just to get to the golf course. And we went through the trees because we didn't think you could like go up the driveway to the golf course because it said you couldn't. But then we had to go up this really steep hill, and Michael like fell down it because it was so muddy. There was like an incline, and I'm in tennis shoes and he's not, he's in Birks. So we got up the hill, and then we were like, realized literally that hill was just like to the start of the golf course, like where you're supposed to park, but we couldn't park there. They're having an event today. So we were like, nah, we are gonna pass. So, escaped unscathed a little bit. Michael's like 16 mosquito bites, but he'll live. So now we're gonna go to dinner with friends.
Day 6 was going good. Got some shave ice, got on the boat for our snorkel tour.
We are going on a snorkel tour in Waikiki to Turtle Bay. We're very excited. Great excitement. 5 out of 5. And I'm a little nervous, but Michael has a really strong swimmer, so we'll be okay.
Everything was going great until they said, oh, there's a tsunami. And imagine somebody saying there's a tsunami and you're headed out to sea. Okay, they turned the boat around immediately. Also, Michael and I didn't have insurance on the rental car, so we immediately turned around and went to higher ground. And I have nothing else to film from the rest of that day because we went to the movies and saw the new Jurassic Park movie. So this is day 7. We were like, this is our last day. We need to go out with a bang. We ate at our hotel, and when I tell you it didn't disappoint, this hotel has like one of the most famous restaurants. It's called Haltree, and it's definitely a little bit more on the pricey side, but was worth every single bite. The views are insane. The beach is right there. You're sitting on the beach eating your food, and the food, I swear, is, I've never had a Michelin star, so I can't compare it, but it literally tastes like a Michelin star. It's what I would think a Michelin star would taste like. So after this, we were like, okay, the tsunami's over. Let's book another boat tour. We tried. It also got canceled. So we ended up going to the flea market and then going to Eternity Beach. After Eternity Beach, we got some poke and cheesecake with our friend before heading to the airport and just savoring every last bite and moment of what Hawaii was. This trip was honestly out of this world. It was such a dream. We got back on the plane. Michael has his headrest, and I was just secretly crying, thinking to myself, I really don't want to leave this place. But knowing we will be back and knowing this definitely isn't the end of our story and Hawaii. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed it. See you next time. Love you. Bye.